Hi, welcome to Sage Business Cloud Accounting Software video tutorials. In this video, we will discuss about item master files. Items are the goods and or services that you sell to your customers. There are three types of master file records that are available for items. List of items, list of bundles, item categories. Item categories. If you want to, you are able to use item categories to group your items. This is done mainly for reporting purposes. You can use item categories to group your items by range or supplier. Example, if you want to generate sales by item reports by group or item category, you can use this item category. You do not have to create item categories for your stock. If you can start or stop using item categories at any time. You can create item categories by clicking Add Category. Enter item category description and save. You can view list of item categories. By clicking these actions, if you want, you can edit or delete your item categories. However, you cannot delete an item category if there are items linked to it. Items. Go to Items, List, List of items. In this function, you maintain records for the goods and or services you sell to your customers. You cannot sell anything to customers unless you have items. You purchase items from suppliers and you sell items to customers. You can view sales and purchases statistics. So you know how many units are buying and selling each month and their values. To create a new stock item, you will click on the Add an Item button, or you can go to Items, click Add an Item. You can enter item code, item description, and you can select item category. If you have opening quantity, you can enter opening cost and opening quantity. You can select opening quantity as a date. When you are creating item, you can create physical item or service item. It is very important that you select the correct item type for your item, whether it is a physical item or service item. You use service item to sell maintenance contract, consulting hours, and so on. You can also them for postage delivery costs. For new items, you can enter opening cost and quantity values. If you select service, you cannot view opening quantity and opening quantity as a date. Active. If you tick this option, this item will active, and if you untick this option, this item inactivated. For demonstration purposes, I will open an item with transaction. There are 9 tabs on this item screen. Details, price list, activity, notes, user-defined fields, purchasers graph, sales graph, sales versus purchasers graph, picture. First, we will discuss details. The Details tab. In the Details tab, you enter the exclusive or inclusive selling price. You are able to enter your own purchase or selling price on documents when you process them. You can enter additional information in the unit field, for example, a unit of measure for them. Select the sales or purchase account from the fields available. You can select inventory account and item adjustment account if you have activated advanced inventory module. After you enter the selling price, and if you have average cost, you can view the gross profit percentage and gross profit amount. If taxes available for this item, you can select tax type. You can select tax on sales, tax on purchases. After you enter transactions, you can view last cost, average cost, quantity on hand, and quantity reserved. Price List tab. Under the Price List tab, you can set specific prices for each additional price list that you have set up. First, you need to create price list. You can create price list from company settings. Go to company, change company settings. General settings, item settings. Under price list, you can create price list. After you create price list, you can enter relevant prices for that price list. After you enter the selling price, system will calculate inclusive selling price if taxes available, and GP percentage and GP amount. The Activity tab. The Activity tab displays the opening balance value and the value of any adjustment, invoices, supplier invoices, credit notes, supplier returns, and quantity on hand. Click on the detail link to view a detailed activity sheet of the item. Below is an example of the tax invoices detail screen. From here, you can view customer, document number, document date, quantity, and exclusive total. If quantity is out from the system, it will display as minus. The Notes tab. In the Notes tab, you enter notes for the item. If you are creating a new item, the tabs will open on the Notes tab, since there is no activity for the item as yet. If you create a note without entering an action date, the system date or entity date will be used as the action date. Notes display in the dashboard until they have been marked as completed. You can also add attachments by clicking the File button. Individual files may not exceed 2 MB in size. A maximum of 5 attachments per note or transaction can be added. The User-Defined Fields. In the User-Defined Fields tab, you can enter additional fields. If you have defined the names of the fields in the User-Defined Fields function, you can enter the specific information here. You can change this User-Defined Field label from Company, change Company Settings, User-Defined Fields, select Items. From here, you can rename your User-Defined Fields. Purchasers graph. You can view purchase activity in a graph. You can drill down to transaction by clicking on the bars in each graph. Sales graph. In the individual sales graph, you can see sales activity in a graph format. You can drill down to transaction by clicking on the bars in each graph. You can analyze your sales comparing it previous year. The sales versus purchases graph. In the sales versus purchases graph, it will display your purchases and sales on one graph. This will enable you to compare buying and selling patterns per item and over time to develop more efficient buying practices. The Picture tab. In the Picture tab, you can add a picture of the item. The picture will be saved on the accounting document store. The supported file formats are JPG, TIFF, GIF, PNG and BMP. Click on the Add Picture button to add the picture. Item List Grid. You can view these columns in the Item List Grid. You can customize this grid by clicking Customize Grid button. You can tick required columns. You can untick if you want to remove any column. Click Save. You can sort this grid by clicking column headings. You can sort ascending or descending order. There are few inactivated buttons. After you select items, these buttons will activate. If you want to delete any item, you can click delete. Mark as active, inactive. After you select items, you can activate or inactivate these items. You can inactivate by unticking this option. Now you can see these two items has inactivated. If you want to active again, you can select those items and click mark as active, inactive. Tick active option and save. Update. By selecting more than one item, you can change their values by clicking update button. If you want to change category of those items, you can select category, and from category list you can select the relevant category. Now these three items, first one accommodation, second one CCTV, third one CCTV. Now all three items category has changed to accommodation. If you want to change again, you can click update, select category, and from here you can select CCTV and save. Like that, if you want to change any field more than one item, you can select those items and you can change at once. In addition to that, you can change following values: tax on sales, tax on purchases, sales account, cost of sales or purchases account, inventory account, item adjustment account, and service item recovery account. Actions. You can view item details by quick view. You can view item details, value on hand, cost and selling prices, GP percentage, GP amount, recent sales, recent purchases, sales versus purchases graph, and also you can view all transactions. You can edit an item by clicking these actions and select edit. You can change item details and save. Or you can edit an item by clicking this blue color link. You can delete an item by clicking Actions, Delete. However, you cannot delete an item with transactions. Search option. If you want to search any item, you can type and search. MultiColumn sorting. You can sort items list by multi-columns. You can add columns by clicking this Add Level. You can view number of items in system. Bundle items. You can create a bundle item from items list of item bundles. Click Add item bundle. You can bundle 2 or more items. After you create bundle items, you can populate all items in the bundle item. Example, you can create a customer quotation. Click Add Cart. Change this type from item to bundle. Select bundle item. Now you can see we have selected only computer, but all other components in that computer will populate to the quotation screen. You can change quantities. Okay, let's create a bundle item. Go to items, list of bundles. Click Add item bundle. You can enter item bundle code, item bundle description, and you can add components in that bundle item. After that, you can enter the quantity of that bundle item. For demonstration purposes, I'll open a bundle item. Now we have created computer as a bundle item, and we have added that subcomponent of that computer: CPU 1 quantity, monitor 1, mouse 1, keyboard 1, and 2 speakers. Like that, you can add components by clicking this plus mark, and if you want to remove any item, you can delete by clicking this red color button. After you enter components, you can save this bundle item.